What a pleasure to get to visit with Shannon Walker, who I got to meet in person last year at the Dog Film Festival, because she is the head of the organization that represents all the service dog organizations that are placing PTSD service dogs with veterans. Shannon, it's quite marvelous that you got to be there last year, have many of your veterans with their dogs in New York City, thanks to Purina Dog Chow. But how incredible that this year, a film that you commissioned is one of the two to win the $1,000 award from Purina Dog Chow. And it'll be in the Dog Film Festival as the Service Dog Salute winning film, Following Flame. That must be a great feeling for you.
It is. It's first of all, thank you so much, Tracie, for having me on your show, and thank you to Dog Chow, 100%. It's an honor, and the thing that is the biggest meaningful thing to me is that the stories are getting out. The stories, like, so for Following Flame, Gordon and Flame, their success because of this mission of providing service dogs for veterans, which is, thank you so much for your platform highlighting this incredible work, life-changing work. So I'm just so grateful for that. I'm excited.
Well, for me, it's been really inspirational. I've had lots of great topics on my radio shows and in the film festival for years, lots of great dog rescue organizations and the human canine bond. Nothing has approximated what your groups do for the veterans suffering from PTSD. Only today, my husband was talking about an article he'd read, I don't know, in the Wall Street Journal or The Economist, about some of these special ops guys that have been many deployments, and one man in particular with lots of drug issues, because that's how he's been trying to mitigate, has had 11 of his cohorts kill themselves. I mean, this is supposed to say a warning about suicide, but we have to talk about it. These dogs are training that are placed with these veterans. Those veterans are all alive. They've all not only alive, but thriving, having lives in the outside world. Tell a little bit about how you became pretty much a pioneer in this world of training and placing the service dogs.
Yeah, thank you for that opportunity. And one thing I don't want to forget is I want to make sure I say thank you to Mark Jeffrey and Legacy Consulting Group for telling the story of Gordon and Flame. But so you just mentioned that veteran who lost 11 veterans that he knew that he served with to suicide. And that's how I got started. So the one thing about it, this is an epidemic, Tracie. The fact is that our veterans, our American heroes are committing suicide to the tune of 22 a day. And that number fluctuates higher and lower, but it doesn't matter. The fact is they are still paying a price for our freedom, even though they're not wearing the uniform anymore. And that's what got me. So I founded Northwest Battle Buddies. And it's because a veteran came into my for-profit business. I've been a professional dog trainer for 30 years. And that veteran came in wanting help by having his personal dog trained to be a service dog. And I had learned that his last firefight that he was in, that he had survived, and he had been self-medicating with illegal drugs and had been clean for a year by the time he came to me. But 6 of the men that had survived in his unit, they survived that firefight. 6, after coming home on American soil, had committed suicide.
It just gives you chills, because these are real people, real numbers. Statistically, it's an average of 22 a day, but here's a man who was surrounded by other survivors of a brutal wartime event. And as in this article about the man, the special ops guy, because they do even more risky, more edge fighting, it said that the Department of Veteran Affairs had nothing to offer him. They gave him a list of many medications, all with side effects, one of which is suicidal ideation.
Yeah, and they already have that. And they already have that. One of the greatest victories for our veterans. So Northwest Battle Buddies was founded 13 years ago. We have provided 292 service dogs to our American heroes. In a month, we are getting ready to do another group of 12 veterans. So we're going to be doing our 300th dog. And it absolutely is life-changing. And they're not nameless, faceless people. These are fathers and mothers and sisters and brothers and sons and daughters. This is our community. This is our future. And when we talk about legacy, we talk about the bravest and most selfless among us suffering in isolation. And the service dogs, one of our greatest triumphs for our veterans. We had one veteran that was on 32 medications a day. And he came and sought out a service dog, a holistic approach, and under the guidance of his medical care professionals, he's down to, within a year and a half, he was down to 1 medication a day, feeling clear-headed, not going through everything that our veterans are going through when they change their meds and everything else. And so it is just, and that's just one of the benefits of having a service dog, not to mention the freedom and independence and the grounding techniques, what the dogs are tasked to train for. Because these service dogs, professionally trained service dogs and professionally trained handlers, because that's what our veterans become. These are tools. These are pieces of medical equipment, and they are trained. Their job is to mitigate a disability so our veterans can have greater freedom and independence in their life. And that is what these service dogs are doing for our veterans. They are bringing hope and healing, and these dogs become a lifeline of freedom and independence, and it's transforming. And it is up to we the people. It's up to you, Tracie, bringing your platform with your influence, saying, I may not be able to train a dog, but I can tell the story.
Yes.
I can train a dog, but I can't put it on a platform like yours. So it's coming together as a community with our own talents and making a difference collectively, because it truly is we the people that have to stand up for our veterans and make a difference and say, thank you for my freedom the way I can.
Yeah.
It's like, I got you. I'll help you.
And that
with what I can
the
bring.
leader in that community in terms of raising money, which goes directly to being able to train these dogs. Dog Chow has been doing it for a long time. And I have to say my gratitude that they found the Dog Film Festival. I've always loved the people at Purina. I've always visited with them at the pet industry gatherings. We've never done quote unquote business together until they realized that the millions of dollars they've given to these service dog organizations like yours, and yours is also an umbrella for many others, that not enough regular Americans in communities understood the importance, the need, and how it functions. And I think that's one of the things that the Service Dog Salute Films has been able to show. The other one that won, One Mind, the veteran talks about having people in society think, because he sometimes wears tinted glasses, that it's a seeing eye dog. And so it isn't. But his service dog not only is specially trained for his disabilities, emotional disabilities, that's what they are, they're emotion, but has to be recertified every year. Now, that's something that was a dog trainer and now a trainer of humans. It's something people don't understand. You get a certification and you have to, it's like getting a driving license, if you will, and needing to take it every single year about your skills and your car's abilities. So it's hard for some of us to look at these dogs, many of whom look like pet dogs. They can be a golden retriever, they can be a crossbred, they can be labs, and they're full of all the qualities that we love in dogs. Show me the dog in the background. Look, Shannon's dog in the background.
Come on. Yeah, so this is Valiant. Come on, Bubba.
Look at that
This
dog.
is Valiant.
Look at that.
Yeah, he's my personal German Shepherd dog, and he is my shadow. I love him so much. Yeah, sometimes he'll go off barking.
I want him in there. We want to see him. We want to know that a woman who trains dogs for a living can just have a lovable, loving, big, strong, brave dog. Many of your dogs are Belgian Malinois and German Shepherds that some of these veterans might have even served alongside, even if they weren't canine handlers in the military. So they are scary looking which they're supposed to be military or a police dog, but they in fact have that loving one-on-one relationship with the veterans that all dogs do. Absolutely. Don't you have some dogs that you get from shelters?
We have some. In the beginning, it was all shelter dogs, because when I decided to start Northwest Battle Buddies, I went right out to a shelter, adopted a bunch of dogs, and got started, because I have a professional kennel. So the dogs got professional care and handling and everything else. So now we do shelter dogs as well, but we also do purpose bred. But Flame, the dog in following Flame, she was a rescue. And she's such a beautiful rescue. It's just amazing. And to the point of what you were saying, as far as the dogs and the tool, and when they're vested and they're working, they are serving a purpose. They are mitigating a disability. They are tasking, they are working. But when they are off, when they're off the clock, our veterans are taking the dogs to the beach and the mountains and letting them run, and they're part of the family, always with an etiquette, always with all of that. These dogs cost $25,000 by the time that we provide them, but they are with the Association of Service Dog Providers, those organizations make sure that those dogs are provided free of charge to the veterans that are receiving them. And you had just mentioned the oversight. Every year our veterans come back. We're quality organizations that best practices is there is an oversight for the veteran and the dog. There's a continued education. It is not a here's your dog, see you later, and have a great life. No, there is oversight through the life of that team, support for that veteran, because life can happen. And we want our veterans to know you're not alone. And we are going to be continuing to be here for you, whatever you need, in regards to making sure that dog is serving its purpose and that handler has what he needs for success. Because at the end of the day, the dog is only as good as the handler. So we got to make sure that handler and that veteran is educated and skilled, because the dog will never be the service dog they need it to be until they're the handler they need to be. And so it really is a joint effort. And you just mentioned my dog, and I have to say, I'm sure that your dogs ground you, because you can't do what you do, highlighting animals in the industry with the love that you have, without them having a deep meaning for you. And I am the same way. It's like on my toughest days, I just have to get my dog and go out in the field, because there, it's all in that moment. Dogs live in the moment. You have that connection. You have that bond that goes beyond so many other experiences I have on this earth. And I was in an interview the other day, and the best moments of my life, other than the birth of my children, the best moments of my life or the deepest tragedies of my life were all shared with my personal dog, helping me get through. And so even though he's not a service dog to me, that's what it means for my life. And I have to have them. And so we take that as another step further for our veterans, who literally, these dogs are making it so they can make their way, breaking barriers breaking barriers that have kept them captive their whole life. Our veterans with our service dogs are breaking barriers. They are living life differently. Really quick, I had one veteran in the last group of veterans. We do a group of 12. We always read their personal statement. Why do you need a service dog? And it was a Marine, and he wrote this letter, and he starts out his personal statement. You want a personal statement? Here it is. I'm sitting in the closet because this is where I cope. My wife and my 13-year-old son know I might be in here for 10 minutes. I might be in here for a day, and you do not bother me if I'm in my closet, and I want to cope differently. I want to live life. I want to do what I used to do. And so he came and he got a beautiful English cream golden retriever named Joy. And he came back for his first recertification, because at Northwest Battle Buddies, they recertify at 3 months, 9 months, and then every year after that, for that really continued oversight. He came back at 3 months and he goes, Shannon, I haven't spent 1 minute in the closet. I'm doing things I thought I could never do. It's life-changing. It's life-changing. But we have to tell the story, and we have to advocate, because it's not just about raising money and training the dogs and providing them. It is about education, and it's about awareness. And that's what Dog Chow is being so diligent, and you, Tracie, in doing. I've been doing this 13 years, and Dog Chow is as a corporation, but it's not a corporation. It's the hearts behind it that are so committed, continually striving to tell the story. How can they make a difference? And it's such an honor for somebody like me, because when I decided to found and start Northwest Battle Buddies, I was by myself sitting in my office just thinking, how do you do this? And I was all by myself doing it for a while. But now look, I'm on your show. Our veteran and dog is in the New York Dog Film Festival. We're having conversations and support from Dog Chow with all those people of like minds and hearts. And this is what it takes. This is what it takes to truly impact, to bring influence, impact, and impact for our veterans in their lives, all as a thank you for our freedom. All of it.
Yeah. And it's very easy to divorce ourselves from what the veterans do, because our modern life is so privileged and lush compared to the lives of the people that they're interacting with in other countries, who are in great disarray. Often their countries are in disarray. But what our veterans have to do, it doesn't matter if they're a drone operator or they're boots on the ground, the stress and the strain of it, which we know from watching popular movies, but it all feels at arm's length. And you're sitting with those veterans, and these films are about those veterans and what their life is like. So you're in a closet, or you can't go into a supermarket, or you can't walk down a street. And this is something that's hard for the rest of us and very hard for their families to understand because they come home to a partner, whether it's male or female, and maybe children, and they're just not themselves because they can just barely get up in the morning and not know where to put their foot down, how to put their foot down. And I think that this awareness by the rest of us, when it says service dog, do not pet, I've said this before, my sense of indignation at people who put fake service dog vests on their
Oh yeah.
untrained, dopey dogs of every breed or no breed so they can get on an airplane for free with them. It's just so bad
Yeah.
because the people with real service dogs, purpose bred or purpose trained, the dogs are doing something you can't see. You have a blind person, you can see that leather harness and the holding spot on it, and you can see the dog is helping this person not bump into things or get on and off of a curb. But otherwise, or maybe the person's in a wheelchair. That's a big visual cue. But for someone
Right.
walking alongside a dog wearing a service vest and maybe on a leash, even a loose leash, you mustn't doubt it. That dog is making it possible
Yeah.
for that person,
Yeah.
and it's very often a veteran, to walk
One,
on the street.
yeah, 100%. And that's one of the biggest things that's hard for our veterans is like, these are invisible wounds.
That's
We
right.
don't see them. And
That's
our
right.
veterans, they don't want to be seen as different because one thing, two things I want to talk about because you just brought it up and my mind was just going. And I love talking to you, Tracie, because it's always just like this quick, fast banter because our brains are just going. But number one, PTSD, the nature of PTSD is taking the worst experience you've ever had in your life and you relive it every day. That's what PTSD is. Our veterans are reliving it. They're reliving it in their sleep. They're reliving it in their when they're awake. They're reliving it when they go into a grocery store. And you said, yeah, we just go into a grocery store and grab milk. We don't think
Yeah.
anything of it. Where that
Yeah.
is a mission for our veterans. And it might be an untouchable one. It might be one just going to shop. Some of our veterans, what's your goal? I want to go shop for my wife. Even Gordon with Flame talked about that. It's like he would have a
Yes.
list and it can't be more than so many on a list. And it
That's
can't be
right.
all this kind of stuff. And it's like the limitations, we don't even fathom
Yeah.
the limitations on the lives and the relationships, the success and the quality of life that our veterans are going through. And one of the greatest things that they struggle with is they want to fly under the radar. They don't want to be seen as different. They don't want the attention. And now they're wanting, I need a tangible tool that's going to help me. It happens to be a big, beautiful service dog, the vest
Yeah.
that says service dog, and it says disabled on it. And so now in our veterans, it's like we tell them, you're going to walk through the store and you're going to feel like you're naked. But I promise you, they're looking at your dog, not you, but they have to overcome it. They have to go, okay, they have to overcome mentally the idea. I have to make it known that I need this dog so I can continue in my life better than I'm living now. You know what I'm saying? And so it's for them to I'm telling you, a veteran with a service dog, anybody that has a service dog, they wish they didn't have to have it. Whereas
That's
to touch on your point, people who are taking their pets in and slapping a vest on a dog, saying it's a service dog, and now it's not, it's a fake service dog. They don't realize how they're truly hurting the industry and they're hurting the disabled because the public cannot navigate who is real and who is not. And so they just look at an unruly dog or a bad experience and they blame all service dogs. And our veterans have to deal with that as well. And so
right.
there are so many layers to a veteran and a service dog being successful in public. And it all starts with what you're doing right now, Tracie. Bringing in education, bringing in awareness, and us advocating, and not only here, but at Capitol Hill and everything else. But
Right.
for us to pave the way for our veterans. Because not only once you finally give them a service dog and now they're out living life, now they're having to navigate the public and fake service
Right.
dogs and their dogs
Yeah.
being attacked and all of that. It's a lot.
Yeah. And also the extra level of bravery. First, there's the bravery of saying, I need help. They find you. Now they have to participate in the wait for the dog. They could wait a year. They could wait 2 years. There certainly are nothing like enough dogs to go around. Then they train with the dog, and that's a challenge. You have to do it right.
Yes.
And you're training them, but it's a test and it's a new skill you're learning. Now you go out in the world, and as you say, it's like there's a spotlight on you. Oh, you're admitting to the outside world, I'm disabled. I can't be here without this dog. I could not be on this sidewalk or
Right.
in this store. On the one hand, it's a spotlight and you don't want to be noticed. But since a lot of what they suffer from is these anxiety attacks, they hear a sound, a baby cry, the backfire that might sound
Yeah.
like a gun, whatever noise, someone drops a case of cans in the Walmart and it's
Yep.
some event that they lived. Now
Yep.
they don't want people to come over and touch them and be near them. That would be really scary. So the dog is there
Yep.
as a buffer. It's a complicated thing. They want to be out in the world, but the world itself poses dangers, has triggers
That's right.
for these terrifying memories that they will never lose them. It's a way to live with them.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. The very thing, that's the one thing when veterans come here for we train our service dogs for 5 months and the veterans train for 5 weeks, 5 days a week. And they're going everywhere they don't want to go. They're doing everything they don't want to
Right.
do. They're
That's
facing
right.
fears right there with their dog. When we go to Walmart, that's our first public outing. We go to Walmart. Sometimes they may not have been in Walmart in a decade because they refuse to go there. And now they're going with their dog and they're facing that fear. And then right there, because we've already taught them how to learn to use their dog as a tool. So they're using the dog in grounding techniques. They might go to the ground and use the dog for pressure therapy. We find a way for them to cope because the panic attacks happen, the
Yes.
anxiety attacks
Yes.
happen. And
Yes.
instead of them white knuckling it through with the hypervigilance that they're feeling,
Yes.
we tell them, but the difference is that we're doing it because it's their first time and they're still having to face it. But we tell them, we're doing this as a team. We got you. We go in together. We come
Yeah.
out together. We all
Yeah.
stop. We will go and we recognize, we tell them to stop and use their dog. And they're hesitant to try a new thing, even though they're here putting their life on hold so they
Yeah.
can live their life differently. And it's incredible. And it's such an honor to walk this out with them. Unbelievable courage. But this is the thing, they refuse to be denied. They're fighting for their life. They're fighting for their families. They're fighting for their children. And to want and to be amongst such bravery and courage and determination, it's an honor. Every single time we have a group and there's so much preparation, there's so much that goes into it for them to be boots on the ground here with their dog, because it takes us 18 months to prepare a dog from birth, if we birth it, and then
Yeah.
it's in the foster home, and then by the time it all comes together, it's like the most beautiful magical moment to watch it all come together, especially for graduation day. On
Yeah.
graduation day, they're standing in front of 100 people talking about their dog and the change that they've already experienced in their life, which they could have never done before they even got their dog 5 weeks before. Healing
Yeah.
begins on day one in these
Yeah.
processes. And it's
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah.
Even the day that you raise your hand and say, I need help, and I hear that a dog might be that solution.
Yeah.
The film Following Flame and
Yes.
the lovely check from Dog Chow for $1,000 that'll come to you, thanks to Mark Jeffrey and his wonderful
Yeah.
video company Legacy.
Yes.
That film is brilliant because it tells the story from the point of view of the dog. She was a farm dog and a herding dog, and she gets repurposed, the opposite of what happens with some service dogs that don't cut it as service dogs. They're repurposed for, I don't know, detection at the airport of vegetables or something.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the opposite. And
Yeah.
it's a wonderful film. It's very moving. And when we see her with her veteran, who she picked, and he talks about being picked by the dog, it's something that we all can really feel teared up about and feel moved by. And I want the story of what you do with the Service Dog Association and at Northwest Battle Buddies to stay in people's minds. This is an ongoing
Yes.
problem, and the solution at the moment is a drop in the bucket, but every life matters. Every person's
Absolutely.
and every dog who facilitates that life having a different quality or having quality at all. It's something we can all participate in. And if people are looking for some place to make a donation, it is a way
Yes.
to donate, but a way of saying, this is my patriotic act for those who've made the
Absolutely.
sacrifice. Support these groups. Shannon Walker, you're amazing. We've run out of time. It's just,
Mhm.
I can't wait for people at the Dog Film Festival, October 26th in New York City to experience the film. And then next year it'll travel the country to maybe even as many as 100 cities. So the work you're doing is beautiful. And I hope Mark Jeffrey keeps making wonderful films for you. He's very talented and his heart is clearly in it as well. So thank you for all you've been doing for 13 years. And I look forward to learning more. So keep me abreast of it and come back on the show whenever you can with news of your wonderful accomplishments. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tracie. Thank you. It was great seeing you again. I'm glad we both wore
You.
pink today.
I
We're
know.
connected.
Pink, that's the color, man. Give a big hug to Valiant for all of us. Take care.
You bet I will every day. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.